The following message is transmitted at the request by the San Francisco Police Department. Approximately 20 minutes ago, reports of brutal murders were reported across the city of San Francisco. The San Francisco Police has reported at least 8 people found brutally murdered throughout the locations of Twin Peaks, Golden State Park, and Glen Canyon Park. These corpses appear to be a few days old. Police describe the victims to have either been mutilated with huge slash marks and numerous stab wounds and bruises on their chest and head. The perpetrators who are responsible for these killings have not yet been identified. The police are advising all residents to stay vigilant and report any suspicious sightings to police by dialing through their local telephone number at 1-415-837-7000. Once again, that's 1-415-837-7000. The emergency alert system has been activated to keep you informed.
As many as over 328 badly mutilated bodies have been found across many of the states across both the West Coast and in Midwest, with a few only discovered by Cincinnati police on the northern banks of the Ohio River. In some cases, they appeared to be decapitated or stabbed multiple times, or they were badly charred, or some are in bits beyond recognition. So far, these states that include California, Oregon, Washington, Arizona, Nevada, Idaho, Montana, Missouri, South Dakota, Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, and most recently Ohio, are receiving these mutilated corpses cases, and it appears to be increasing at an alarming rate. In addition, there are now over less than 1,000 calls combined, coming into 911 call centers across these aforementioned states, reporting possible discoveries of the mangled corpses. The most notable information is that among the thousands of emergency operator calls, there are dozens of calls claiming they saw a perpetrator or perpetrators who they believed are responsible for committing mass slaughter of civilians across the U.S., and unconfirmed reports are coming in that small towns and villages are being attacked by an unknown hostile force. Some of the witnesses described one of the killers to the police to be wearing an unusual type of clothing in different colors, presumably of unknown origin. Witnesses claimed that they were agile, and appeared to be armed with what appeared to be long-bladed weapons. In one instance, a man residing in Idaho claimed that they were just about to return to their home for a good night's sleep when they hear the word explosion before his own home exploded in an instant, nearly knocking him out and forcing him to run for his life in his car. Upon fleeing, he noticed a small figure wearing a crimson red and black witch outfit, and had a glowing red eye, but couldn't make a glimpse of its face, and he had noticed a few women armed with swords and staves were chasing him as he fled down the mountain trail. More information is expected to turn up as the situation progresses and the police investigation continues, with the FBI now becoming more increasingly involved in gathering more information, while trying to put a stop to this madness.
Residents in the town of Rangeley, lock all of your doors immediately. The civil authorities has issued a civil danger warning for Rangeley, Colorado, effective until further notice. At 10:40 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, police had received reports that a large group of unidentified individuals were seen rampaging the town. These individuals are seen committing acts of violence upon the civilian population, including but not limited to murder, bodily murder, battery or assault, vandalizing or destruction of property, arson, and carrying or possessing dangerous weapons including swords, automatic and semi-automatic weapons, claws, and grenades. They appear to be highly intelligible, and there are reports that some of the individuals are speaking in different languages and accents into their unintelligible phrases. Their motives are not known, but these individuals have a clear intention to harm civilians with great effect. All residents in the town of Rangeley and nearby areas are strongly urged to shelter in place now. To shelter in place, close or lock all doors and windows. Barricade them to the best of your ability. Stay away from doors, windows, and exterior walls. If one of these dangerous individuals breaks into your home, you may use any means necessary to defend life and property, including lethal force. If you don't have the weapon, hide. Do not let these individuals find you. Continue to monitor local radio or television stations to receive further updates and later messages.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the Iowa State Patrol, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and the Department of Homeland Defense. Residents are advised to stay vigilant for any persons of interest and report any of their suspicious activities. Following ongoing investigations by state and federal authorities, police are able to identify the perpetrators allegedly responsible for the string of mass murders across the country. At least 5 individuals are identified but do not appear to match with the FBI's NCIC database. The first suspect is believed to be identified as what is believed to be a white or European female. Her weight is unknown, standing at 5 feet 4 inches tall, has purple eyes and pink rakish hair. She was last seen wearing a type of regal knight outfit with a red cape, and was seen wielding a sword of which she uses to harm or kill civilians. The second suspect is believed to be a female of unknown age and origin. Her weight is around 80 or 100 pounds, and she has long brown hair and crimson eyes. She was last seen wearing a red and golden witch-like attire, a black cloak and a red robe, along with her eye patch covering her left eye. The third suspect is a 20-year-old female of unknown origin. Her weight is unknown, has curly black hair with golden tips and light gray eyes. She was last seen wearing a black raincoat, beige buttoned shirt, black skirt and matching long socks, and black boots with red and gold trimmings, and is armed with an M16A1 assault rifle. The fourth suspect is a female of unknown age and origin. Her weight is unknown, has strawberry blonde long hair with 2 red horns on her head and yellow-red eyes. She was last seen wearing a blue jacket, white dress shirt with a black necktie, black trousers, and white shoes, and she appeared to be wielding either a red-colored sledgehammer or pipe wrench. The fifth and final suspect is a European female, standing at least 5 feet, 7 inches tall, approximately 20 or 25 years of age, has long black hair and red eyes. She was last seen wearing a halter-style black dress, black stockings and matching a pair of black thigh-high boots, and she appeared to be armed with a sharp, pointed-edged weapon. It is unknown if more attacks of this type and nature may occur elsewhere or at any moment, and if there are any more individuals involved. However, these suspects are armed and extremely dangerous as they are believed to be responsible for a string of violent attacks and mass homicides across cities and towns in the western and central United States. For your safety, all residents hearing this message are needed to stay indoors and to not go outside for the rest of tonight. If you must travel, only do so for essential purposes. If you have a family residing out of state, do not try to pick them up in case they are taking their own precautions. If you see any of these aforementioned suspects based on their description, or if you have a life-threatening emergency, dial 911. Do not attempt to approach or apprehend these individuals, as you may be putting yourself in serious danger. The emergency alert system has been activated to keep you informed. Stay tuned to this station, or other media outlets and sources for the latest information and updates on this dangerous situation.
Y'all ready to order? And y'all ready to check me out in the amazing picture clarity of DirecTV HD? It's broadcast in 1080i. I totally don't know what that means, but I want it.
For the best in HD, get DirecTV.
Who are you shopping for?
My mom.
What did you get her last year?
Last year I got her a flowery picture frame. Before that I got her a silver picture frame and a panda bear picture frame.
Kid, get her a Canon digital camera. Like this PowerShot A540. 6 megapixels, 4 times optical zoom.
Just $199.98.
Thanks, Mr. Humperdinck.
Send that to your mom.
This week, buy any Canon PowerShot digital camera and get a special bonus offer on a Canon photo printer. Another unexpected gift from Staples.
Why does that bother you?
Why does it bother me? So easy a caveman can do it?
Well, it's just a commercial.
Okay. Well, what if it said, Geico.com, so easy a therapist can do it?
Well, that commercial wouldn't make sense to me.
Why not?
Well, therapists are...
Are what? Smart?
We interrupt your programming. This is a national emergency. Important instructions will follow. This is an emergency action notification. All broadcast stations and cable systems shall transmit this emergency action notification message. This station has interrupted regular programming at the request of the White House to participate in the emergency alert system. During this emergency, most stations will remain on the air providing news and information to the public in assigned areas. This is WOIO. We will continue to serve the Cleveland area. If you are not in this local area, you should tune to stations providing news and information for your local area. You are listening to the emergency alert system serving the Cleveland area. Do not use your telephone. The telephone line should be kept open for emergency use. The emergency alert system has been activated. We interrupt our programming at the request of the White House. This is the emergency alert system. All normal programming has been discontinued during this emergency. This is WOIO. This station will continue furnishing news, official information and instructions for the Cleveland area. If you are not in the Cleveland area, you should tune to stations providing news and information for your area. It is important that you listen carefully for announcements from this station for your local area. We interrupt our programming at the request of the White House. This is the emergency alert system. All normal programming has been discontinued during this emergency.
Please stand by for a message from the representative of the President of the United States.
My fellow Americans, I'm currently speaking in for the President, who is currently moved to a safe and undisclosed location, for we are currently facing the most gratifying and increasingly dangerous crisis that is unlike we have seen before. During the months since we entered the year 2006, these hostile individuals, whom the FBI currently calls them as enemy androids, or simply as AP-06, have killed tens of thousands of people across numerous states in the far west up to the Midwest, even as far as down south as San Antonio and as far east as the Mississippi River. There have been conflicting reports that some of the identified individuals have clones of their own, but that has still yet to be confirmed. At this present moment, we still have no idea where they come from, and we haven't yet established their motive of why they're doing this to our people, or who is the primary leader within these individuals. No foreign country or any of our adversaries, not even our known terrorist groups, has yet claimed any responsibility for this initial attack. However, one thing is clear: they're here to slaughter us. However, we also have evidence and information that AP-06 humanoids aren't the only threat we are facing. Just recently, on the morning of March 7, 2006, a slew of violent crimes ranging from mass shooting, larceny, felony murder or assault against civilians to government officials, arson and mass destruction of property involving the use of heavy weaponry explosives have been reported across the cities of Seattle, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Portland, Phoenix, Albuquerque, Plano, Uvalde, Houston, and Austin. These are one of the dozens of criminal cases reported across the West Coast and in the Midwestern states over the past week, all perpetrated by a relatively new group who call themselves the anti-cultist faction. According to federal and state investigators, this group consists of several of our own citizens who have chosen to side or assist with AP-06, and they have been committing acts of violence, subversion, and terrorism to prove themselves to their cause. The federal investigators have been monitoring that group since a month ago, and will continue to monitor and investigate the anti-cultist faction's activities and its motives whenever or whatever means possible. In accordance with the drastic turn of events, the following actions are to be implemented. First and foremost, all American reserve military members and members of National Guard not already deployed are ordered to report for immediate deployment. Second, in order to prevent further defections and acts of rebellion against the United States, the President has invoked the National Emergencies Act of 1976. Under this directive, the following actions must be taken. 1. All modes of public transportation will be suspended until further notice and will be put under military control. All major freeways and highways will be shut down to civilian traffic to be reserved for the military, as do airports, seaports, and railroads. 2. All normal programming operations will be suspended from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. in order to keep yourself updated and focused on the crisis at hand. Finally, martial law has been declared for all of the United States, including all 40 contiguous U.S. states and Alaska and Hawaii, as well as the territories of Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, the Northern Mariana Islands, Guam, and the American Samoa. Effective immediately, some civil liberties and freedom of assembly are to be restricted, and all non-essential businesses like schools, malls, post offices, and private institutions will be closed until further notice. In order to meet full compliance with the martial law, a mandatory curfew between 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. will be put into effect. All residents are expected to follow all rules given by military officials and to return to their homes by curfew period. This does not permit the excuse to commit violent crimes. Anyone caught committing crimes in any sort of form will be detained or will be shot on the spot. My fellow Americans, I can feel and understand that what we're about to do may be harsh, but let us remind that we have no full understanding of this phenomenon that's already been claiming countless lives with no explanation and motive, and we assure that the safety and security of our citizens is of the utmost priority, and this is the best that we can do given the circumstances. The strict military measures are meant to be temporary. Until the situation can be fully understood and that is deemed to be containable, martial law will be here to stay and remain in effect. Rations will be provided to residents and our people will receive military protection from any threats. All we can do is hope for the best, and we ask all Americans to provide full cooperation through martial law so we can live through and survive in these darkest times. We will continue to monitor the situation closely and keep you updated. Thank you, and may God bless you all.
That was the message of the representative of the President of the United States. We will now return you to the emergency alert system.
This concludes all activations of the emergency alert system. We will now resume normal programming shortly.
following message is transmitted at the request of the United States Department of Homeland Security and the United States government. Mass riots have broken out throughout parts of the Midwestern and West coastal states. These states that are experiencing civil unrest include Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois, Minnesota, Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, Oklahoma, Texas, California, and Oregon. The motives of these mass riots and civil unrest that occurred are the result of martial law measures taken to limit the casualties caused by the AP-06 humanoid individuals, and to investigate and contain the mass slaughter situation. Civilians who participated in these riots have begun committing acts of violence and destruction, such as disturbing the peace, destruction of property, arson, grand larceny, motor vehicle theft, battery, violation of government-enacted restrictions stemmed from the martial law, breaking and entering, assault on government and law enforcement officials. The rioters have also begun to breach government blockades, and some even resort to causing shootings involving firearms, and have also crossed into other states. At this time, stay in your homes and do not go outside. Close or lock all doors and windows. Barricade them to the best of your ability. Turn off all heating and air conditioning systems. Seal all cracks on doors, windows, and exterior walls with tape or damp towels. If one of the rioters breaks into your home, you may use any means necessary to defend life and property, including lethal force. However, vigilantism will not be tolerated, and if you are caught attempting to detain rioters or anyone caught breaking the martial law, you will be punished. Most importantly, do not participate or start any riots. Doing so may result in arrest or death. The United States Army has repeatedly stipulated that unruly behavior will not be tolerated, and they will do as they see fit to put down riots and to continue enforcing martial law until the mass slaughter situation committed by AP-6s can be contained. To repeat, mass riots have broken out throughout parts of Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois, Minnesota, Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, Oklahoma, Texas, California, and Oregon. Residents are strongly advised to stay in your homes and do not go outside. The emergency alert system has been activated to keep you informed. Act now to protect your life.
An immediate evacuation has been issued for the District of Columbia. The following message has been transmitted at the request of the Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police Department in conjunction with the United States government. At approximately 7 p.m. Eastern Standard, the Ani-cultist faction launched an attack against the nation's capital. The cultists are heavily armed and are responsible for the deaths of law enforcement and civilians along with the immense destruction to infrastructure. They are also seen aiding AP-06 entities on the attack. These entities are also heavily armed with various kinds of weaponry, such as swords, claws, sledgehammers and firearms. Some of the entities are capable of casting what appears to be magic. Similar incidents of this type are reported across the Midwestern region as members of the Ani-cultist group are also attacking state capitals. Their motives are not immediately known, but these events pose an extreme threat to human life. All residents hearing this message are urged to